MTV 2003 reunion in here right now.
I wasn't there. They didn't let me in. What's up, Jack?
How you doing?
I'm pretty good. Yourself?
I'm hanging in there.
Doing shows, flying around the world with your dad's got to be pretty sweet, right?
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
I reckon that sounds like a cool deal.
It's not a bad occupation at the moment.
He needs to go fly around the world with his son.
We drive, which is even...
Well, you have to go to different countries, though, right? Or is it just here?
This season we were just here.
Okay.
Even though it's called World Detour, that would imply that we take a detour around the world, but we're just domestic at the moment.
Have you flown recently to another country with your dad?
Yeah.
Because I follow you on Instagram. I thought I saw you in another country.
We were in... last year we did a lot more international stuff. We were in Japan and Cuba last year. But then where did I go recently with him? I don't know. Probably.
You hang out a lot these days, huh?
Yeah.
Was it like... I mean, it wasn't like that when he was full tilt metalhead doing drugs. He probably... There was a second there where he wasn't around at all, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, it was kind of... I mean, we'd go on the tour, but when my dad's touring, it's not like he's doing anything other than gigging. He does his gig and then he goes to the hotel. So it's not.
So
like,
when do you see him?
When do I see him?
When did you see him when that routine was happening?
We'd be around, but we'd see him in the hotel. We'd see him at the gig. It wasn't like we'd be in like Boston and he'd be like, "Hey, let's go do something." It'd be like I'd be sat and we'd have lunch in the hotel room.
Right, and he would sometimes be wasted at the dinner table, right?
No, I mean...
Or was he always composed around the kids?
My mom was always pretty good about keeping... You know, he would probably be on something.
If he looked messy, she'd be like, "Don't go say anything."
Yeah, it was just
Jack,
like, hey,
catch it.
It was like take the kids out kind of thing. Like,
Okay.
you know, one of the nannies or she would take us out. So my mom was pretty good about keeping full tilt Aussie at bay.
Yeah.
But nothing too, you know, it was pretty... There was a handful of times where things got loco, but...
Right. Well, that's understandable.
You're coming at it hard right off the bat.
Sorry. I mean, look, I just feel like when I see that you get to travel... Look, my father did some bad things, so it's not the same, but Ozzy's a wild person who loves his family.
Yeah.
And there's a part there that I can relate to.
Sure.
And... to be a rock star, I mean, only from the outside, I really don't know, but to think of the average rock star, what they do and how many times they go on the road, and him in particular, how many drugs he probably took and whatever it was. He was drunk a lot.
Yeah.
I know, you know, I got kids. If I was drinking, I'm not going around the kids because I'm aware of, like, how that rubs off. This is a long time ago when nobody told you. Did you know that if you walk around drunk in front of your kids that could rub off in a bad way? I'm from that word. That wasn't... He didn't do it on purpose, dude.
Yeah.
No one said that it was bad.
Yeah.
Smoking a cigarette around a pregnant person wasn't bad when I was a boy.
Oh, I remember being a little kid and sat on the couch next to my dad and he would be like puffing away on a cigar with like no window open.
If doctors did commercials where they were smoking, just before that.
Teacher smoked in the classroom.
No.
That's next level.
Yeah, Catholic school. Get away with anything you want.
Wow.
But Jack, to me, you're an adult now who's got kids. You've been through your own shit. You got trials and tribulations of your own, man, and then some. Now you're on the road with your dad, and he's not doing the gig. He's just hanging out with you.
Yeah.
So you got the show. That's cool, but you're getting some crazy
time.
father-son time.
Yeah.
Because I feel like he's the kind of guy that he loves you, but he's not going to be like, Jack, we need to go to lunch together, and then we must go to Disneyland. I mean, I must experience more of my son's humor.
Yeah, he's not. No, my dad, like, I got him to go out of the house on Sunday to go get a cup of coffee.
Right.
We had the cup of coffee there. He inhaled it, and he was like, "All right, let's go."
Like home. He needed to get the fuck out of there.
Yeah. But
was he very conversational?
Yeah, we chatted for a bit. We were talking about the coffee shop. It's it's a night, whatever, and we kind of kicked it for a bit, and then did we have I might have had the kids with me too.
Is he talking to them?
Yeah.
Is he like a? Does he talk baby talk? I don't know if this is too intrusive.
No. He's pretty cool with them. Like Pearl, my oldest, she's totally like very different from my youngest. My youngest is like mental and hilarious and like wild.
Okay.
And so I think he handles Pearl a lot better because she's very mellow and like wants to just cuddle. Whereas my young one will like nosedive towards you from a couch and then like
he would have, I would assume, when he was with a child, right?
Yeah. And I tell you what, my youngest is a lot like Kelly was. So
right.
I think it's probably traumatic for my dad. I'm just kidding.
No, I seriously, Because you get pieces.
Yeah.
You see them. You see what I mean? Like I see pieces of the people before me in my kids, the
For
grandkids.
sure.
There's little pieces of each
Yeah.
person. But when you're because I mean I have a drug problem. I'm a fucking maniac, and I mean and I've had to like really try to. I've made a lot of effort to make me tolerable to my family and my friends.
Yeah.
And I've sort of had to at one point because I wasn't the greatest metal singer of all time in the world, and I didn't have a bunch of yes men around me.
Yeah.
Which once again don't know Ozzy that well, but I do know what it's like to be a little bit famous, and I know that if you're fucking Ozzy, everybody's trying to say yes to you. The only person I think that would have been saying no would be your mum, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's definitely. You know, it's funny. There isn't because my dad's circle is so small. There's not a lot of bullshit around him, and he's been doing it for so long. He's really trimmed the yes man bullshit.
I could sense when he's come in here that it takes one line, one word, and he knows, and you're cut.
Yeah.
He knows. And this you could be a little bit giddy around him,
Yeah.
and just say one thing that seems a little more like
off base.
you might want something.
Yeah.
Yep, done.
Yeah.
And then he's mumbly off to the side.
Yeah.
In his little thing.
Yeah, a lot of his little thing I've learned is very deliberate. It's
Okay.
like his oh, you know, I can't hear you. I'm just gonna kind of mumble under my breath. It's
Yeah.
because he just doesn't want to fucking talk to someone. Can I say that? Sorry.
Yes.
Oh, you can say
Okay.
fucking.
Okay.
You can say cunt. That's usually what I say when someone says, can you say fuck?
Okay.
Feel free to spell that liberally.
I
Yeah.
know who your father is. You've heard that word
Right,
before.
a few times.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, he's very. Sometimes he's just tired and he just is like, you know. But
Yeah.
a lot of times when he's in social situations, he uses. I perceive it that he can use it as a bit of a scapegoat.
I don't blame him a little bit. I feel like people get very nervous around special people, and he's one of those people that makes people act in ways that they're not even really that person. They just get very giddy and nervous, and I'm friends with Tony Hawk, and certain people can't act normal around him.
Yeah.
So that makes him awkward.
Yeah.
Because now he knows wherever he goes, there's probably 10 people in the room that are going to get real fidgety
Yeah.
and make him feel weird. And Ozzy's
The thing I hate the most
more than that.
is you can get giddy, weird, excited, say hi, whatever. I hate the secret phone photo.
Oh, right.
The
Where you
secret
just won't
phone
ask?
photo, yeah, it's like, just ask.
Yeah.
Like, we were at coffee and this dude, like, kept walking by and trying to get, like, a good secret phone photo. And I just looked at him and I was like, it's more rude to do that than it is to come up and say, hey, do you mind if I have a photo with you?
Oh, God. I did that to Danzig twice.
And he fucking knew it for sure.
The second
too.
time I didn't realize the flash was on.
Did he flex?
Wait, the flash went off?
The flash went off.
Oh.
Because I didn't know he's into Japanese food. So my wife is Japanese. We're at a little Japanese grocery store, and there's fucking Danzig's like sifting through the kimchi, and I'm like, this is crazy. This is him and his girlfriend were down on their hands and knees, like looking through different brands of things. I'm like, wow, he really cares about Japanese groceries. And then I saw him at a restaurant like a month later. I'm like, wow, he's really into Japanese food.
Wow.
So I thought I could take my wife smiling and him over the shoulder, and man, when that flash went off, he's seen that move before.
Oh, God, I'm cringing on your
Yeah.
behalf.
I know.
Has he come in here ever?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't bring it up.
Okay, you probably should, though.
I talked to him about Japanese food, not about the photos.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he said that he would take, because he's into bondage and stuff before anybody was. And I just got into the S&M thing a little bit with my wife, and he said that I was like, do you still do stuff like that? He mumbled. It was after the show, like off the air, like, yeah, I mean, I'm old school, in a fucking safe word. And I was like, okay. Because I wasn't sure. Cause
You know, that's not boding too well for a lot of guys these days.
Yeah, right.
This was funny 2 years ago. It's a whole different world now, Jack Osbourne.
It's, you know, oof.
I don't know how much he uses that cellar anymore these days. He seemed like he was.
Yeah.
He seemed pretty angry.
Yeah.
He seems angry.
Yeah, I don't, you know, I've never been a huge Misfits Danzig fan. It just never, for some reason, like, it just didn't really resonate with me. I was more into the kind of, you know, just straight metal. So for me, I've always been like, Danzig, yeah, all right, whatever.
Is that a weird thing to be into straight metal and sort of, you know what I mean, and your dad's, I mean, everybody that you were on the road with is, I mean, if they're not number one, they're in the top three that ever lived. You can't, even if you were like trying to hate on your dad.
Yeah, no, I'm a big, like, Ozzy Sabbath fan.
Right.
Like, I appreciate, you know, I appreciate the kind of the growth of heavy metal.
Yeah.
You know, and my youth was spent very much in the new metal kind of
I
phase.
do remember that TV show where when you were a little kid you were into Tool and stuff like that,
Tool,
right?
Meshuggah,
right.
Slipknot, you know, all, you know.
And now what's your musical taste?
You know what? I've gone real deep into some I'm back into grunge big time.
Wow.
Like full on.
Just not people doing new grunge, the old like Alice in Chains and all the shit.
Pearl Jam, yeah.
Me and my wife are still we've never stopped from that.
Right?
You know what I mean?
It's awesome.
Just in the house all the time. It's just the way it is.
Yeah. No, I'm right there. Like Lithium is like I listen to Lithium like non-stop.
So do you know Corrosion of Conformity and all that? Because I see that every now and then that they're going to play somewhere, and I saw that recently, and I was like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
And Tully was like, you realize they're going to give you exactly what you want. I'm like, what's that? He's like, that one album that you really liked.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, because they probably won't play.
No.
Like 10 more songs they've been working on. They're just gonna give you that shit that you.
And I'm sorry, like that's what my dad does. Like, and my dad knows, like, hey, listen, if you want to come to my concert, you're not coming to see me perform some random track from No More Tears or whatever, or like you know, he's like, you want to hear Crazy Train, Bark at the Moon, Mr. Crowley, like the bangers. And I think bands that were successful back then, like I went, as much as I love Radiohead, I went to see Radiohead like 2 years ago, and they played none of the bangers.
Right.
And you're just like, dude, like, come on.
He has to not play the bangers.
But that to me turns me off from ever wanting to go see him again.
Right.
Because I'm paying X amount of hundreds of dollars.
Be proud of your song.
Exactly.
Right.
And even if people love the Johnny Greenwood, the guitar player, like you go see him live, he might not even pick up a guitar.
Yeah.
Because he's just fiddling with like keyboards
and
shit. I have a friend who's a guitar player, and he's like, at least, if you're not going to play the hits, can you at least play the guitar?
For sure.
At the fucking Hollywood Bowl.
Yeah. No, I feel you. And I think that has, and I don't get that. I don't, because it's, I mean, I do and I don't. Like, I mean.
I understand why he's doing it. I just think it's stupid.
Yeah.
Because you're being righteous, but it's like, I'm not giving you my song that, I mean, it's so cheesy. I'm like, at one point you fucking wrote that and made it out. It's pretty good. You should be proud of it.
And that, that song from the album 5 albums ago, which got you fame, sorry, that's always going to be the biggest hit.
Yeah, and you got to look at it from the fans. I mean, the lifestyle that you live, this amazing life, traveling and whatever comes with massive groups of people supporting you. And you don't want to give them that song. Like, I saw the Eagles the other day. I'd never seen the Eagles. The Eagles they're not the original people in there. One guy's gone. I'm 46. I've never been to an Eagles concert. When they played the bangers, I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
I'm in a room with the Eagles when they're playing the banger. and why would you deprive people of that? You know what I mean? Like, because you've played it too many times.
Yeah, I want people to respect my new stuff. It's like, okay, fine, but how about you give me the option? Like, if you're doing 2 nights in LA, maybe go, hey, we're the first night, it's all our new shit. Second night is going to be a best of.
I just don't mixing it up.
Yeah.
You don't have to be like, I will not give you the ones that you want.
I know.
That's especially when it costs that much money for everybody in the world these days.
Concerts are not cheap.
Yeah, you're going for it when you go out these days. Like, you've tickets and drinking and fucking driving and God knows what else comes with it.
Whole thing.
Give me the goddamn bangers, you prick.
Exactly. We could solve this problem, I think, today.
Right. Well, we did, but no one's listening. So you got to do the show. You get to hang out with him, and he has. So every now and then he's going to be in a predicament where he's like, Jack, it's just you and me. What's been going on? And then probably every now and then there's not a camera around.
Yeah. You're
just getting quality bonus time with the old man.
The best times with him on this have been actually when we're on like back road driving. Because, you know that the cameras are right, they're turning them off, and we can just chat for a little bit, and that's probably like what I remember most.
Yeah, that's important.
Exactly.
The important bit.
The QT town.
Is your father firing a cannon?
Yep.
Like, I was just talking to my son about this the other day, about what's important, and money and reeling off. He's 8, reeling off cars and how much they are and stuff. And I was like, I'm like, I've had a turbo Porsche. I got a Mercedes. This thing's like a really expensive car. It's like a freaking hovering couch. It's got like little remote things for you in the back seat, and you're 8. You know what I mean? Like, come on, dude. And I'm like, but it's nowhere near as good as the conversation that we're having right now.
For sure.
Like, you and me talking about stuff, just like man to man.
Yeah.
Those things, I won't forget that. Like, his little mind being a man. And I also think about what will I remember when my dad used to talk to me like this about this one thing.
Yeah.
Like I want him to have
absolutely memories are the only true thing of value, and it's like I would rather go. You know what? I would rather spend a bulk of money on an epic trip with my kids and my wife and go somewhere really fun than go and buy like a Rolex. Because I'm like, well, because like you bought it and it sits on your wrist and you're like, okay, that's that one thing I bought and there it is. Versus, hey, we spent 2 weeks, in Hawaii cruising around doing awesome stuff together.
Were you ever into flashy stuff? Because you obviously were raised, if not necessarily in your house, but you saw that world. I've never got that impression off of you.
There was a little phase, and I've always been pretty subtle with it. I used to really like my sports cars. I went, when I was single and and didn't have school and all that stuff to pay for. I had quite a few sports cars, and that was it. And I would.
Did you ever crash one?
No, never crashed one.
Good for you.
Yeah, no, I always really took care of them, and I was pretty.
Did Kelly ever have sports cars?
Kelly probably.
She seems like the kind of person that would crash it.
The most sporty car she got, right when we did the Osbourne, she bought some Mercedes, some coupe, whatever.
Right.
It was pretty fast.
That's more of an accidental fast car.
Yeah.
And you get it and you're like, oh shit, they actually make these fast as well as really cool. Right.
And then she also, I think the fastest car she ever got was one of those Cadillac CTS-Vs. It was like 524 horsepower, like insanely fast, Cadillac.
So when your dad got his license again and then started driving around, because I remember he came to the swing house and he came and he drove, and I was like, fucking hell, he drove here, and it was in a
Ferrari.
No, he didn't have. He was getting the Ferrari. I think he had the. Did he have an Audi, the R8 thing or something?
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Yeah, and he had his little friend with him,
Mm-hmm.
and they were in this little miniature car, and he was saying how stupid it is to get in and out of it or something. I'm like, it's so. You kind of almost don't like this car. It seems like you just fucking got it because you heard it was sweet.
Probably, that's about right. Yeah, no, he stopped. He crashed a Ferrari.
Not bad, obviously.
It was like a little like freeway, little bumper kiss on the freeway with someone. And,
okay.
And then he was like, you know what? I don't really want to drive anymore.
Oh.
So he's now back to not driving.
Oh.
Yeah.
That incident did it.
Yeah, I think it was the start, and then he was driving less and less, and I think he just is of that mindset of like, well, I don't ever have to go anywhere by myself, and I would rather not have the responsibility. Because think about it, like Ozzy Osbourne bumped someone. It's like next thing you know, oh, we're gonna sue him for $1 billion, whatever, because people are.
Well, you can't
silly.
think that his hand-eye coordination is top of the line.
No, one might think that, but his thing was more like, I don't want to be liable. That's it.
Yeah, and I feel like you guys know more than anybody because you started this shit. It's not your fault, but you started this. You know what I mean? Into the house of the kids.
A little bit.
It's a weird thing that
you got a lot to answer for.
It's he doesn't. You know what? He doesn't have to answer for shit. But he fucking was standing right next to a bunch of people that do. But he was one of the only ones that kept it cool. I think maybe being a dude might have helped, and that your dad wasn't like pussy rich. He was like. Yeah. He was like hard cunt rich.
Yeah, he was factory worker rich.
Yeah, because he talks like he's a broke piece of shit, and it's which means you get raised like that. You're not you know what I mean, a wealthy family that grew up with all this stuff.
As we say in England, he's not a public school boy.
Right. Right, and then all the people Paris Hilton Kardashian wankers that are going to bottle service nightclubs. Look, I know Dingo. I know all these fucking idiots. I'm aware of like where you were like, nope, see ya, going to get a real life.
Yeah.
And where I was already older than you, and there was a time where if I had been your age, I fucking would have been there. I'm so pissed that I missed the window because I was Benji and Joel's buddy, right at the end of it, where I was like, oh, you guys are all growing up. I know I'm probably too old to be here anyway. Fuck. But looking at it from the outside, it looked like you guys were. I mean, you owned the city.
Yeah, it was fun for a while. It was like there was not, and it was also too. It was like pre-TMZ, and so it was pre industrialization of paparazzi.
So they're saying the paparazzi wasn't as bad.
It wasn't as bad in the sense that, well, put it this way, I did some fucking wild shit, and there's no photos. So that tells you something.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Plug the show, Tully. We've got to go.
All right. Ozzy and Jack's World Detour is on tonight at 10 p.m. on A&E. as well as next week, and the week after that, and the week after that. So, well, we're on for like another 9 weeks. So.
Thanks for being on the show, dude.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, and sweet.
Don't die, people.